I am just gonna go over today my top 3 exercises. These are exercises that I have done repeatedly, probably for the past year and a half, really trying to progressively overload on every single one of them. And just gonna kind of give you guys a day in the life of a few of my favorite exercises and why I utilize them in my training. Okay, so the first exercise that I really enjoy, mainly because I'm back dominant, even though I'm not focused on building my back, this is one that I still very much enjoy and think that it can apply to a lot of people, is a single arm lat pull down. So I have the fancy Prime machine here, but you can do this on any table machine that works for you. You can also do it kneeling as well if you don't have a bench to utilize. I think it's a really good bilateral movement for a lot of people to incorporate, especially if you don't like, for instance, single arm dumbbell rows. This is one to definitely try. I think a really big thing to take note on this type of exercise, and one thing I see with my clients a lot, is whenever they start to pull, they think the main focus is to pull it back as far as you can and get your elbow behind your torso. It's actually the opposite of what you want, because we're looking to target your lats. So what you want to do is think about pulling your elbow down towards the ground or down towards your thigh. So you should be finishing with your elbow in front of your body, not behind. That's a common mistake I typically see. So the next exercise that I really enjoy, now you can do a variance of it like a reverse lunge or split squats. One thing that, I don't know what it is, I've always really enjoyed lunges. So I'm gonna do walking lunges, but make them with a little bit of a focus on my glutes. So you'll see while I'm doing the exercise that I'm gonna have a little bit of a forward lean within my torso and really focus on stretching my glutes and my hamstrings from there. But also, I'd say the biggest tip for this, if you're looking to grow your glutes and make an emphasis with walking lunges on your glutes, it's not so much about lunging down and pushing up in a vertical fashion. What I think about mentally is I think about from here, since my glutes are already stretched, I'm thinking about how can I push forward and press from this in my glutes as explosive as possible. So I'm not thinking about going up, I'm thinking about pushing forward into the next rep. Because I see a lot of people just go straight vertical whenever they're lunging. So if you make that emphasis with that torso lean, you're hitting your glutes in a more effective manner, and you're being able to get a better connection by thinking about those mental cues. So that's usually what helps me. You can use dumbbells if you really want to. I find that when I go really heavy in weight and I start to use my true ascending loads, I'll go up to like 110 pounds for the easy bars or the pre-weighted bars. That would be the equivalent of me holding on to like 50s or 55s. My shoulders would just be toast. So I believe that you can still very much do this with an easy bar or a pre-weighted barbell and make it just as effective. Program this into my leg days, or my coach programs it into my leg days. Oh my God, I'm out of breath. I think usually whenever I program it into a leg day, it's gonna be on a glute and hamstring focus day. And if I'm looking to push the limits a lot and be able to utilize a lot of energy that's still left in my system, I'll have it in like the second or third exercise. But I have also had it to where currently, if I'm doing like high frequency legs, like training legs or glute and hamstrings up to 3 times within a training split, not 3 times in a week, I'll usually put it at the end, because I'm doing less exercises when I'm training my glute and hamstrings more often, so I can spread that exercise throughout the week. So
is typically how I spread it out. If you're usually doing 2 leg splits, 2 leg days, I would say program it in for the second or third exercise after you get a little bit of warming up, because doing a bilateral exercise is evidently some of my favorite things to do. And then if you find that you want to train legs more often, have it for 2 sets on one of your last leg days, and just stick to 2 sets, really high effort. Typically I will do an ascending load for these and almost all of my exercises as well, and I'll have my last set go towards failure. So I'll use a moderate weight, next heaviest weight, and then for typically the third set or the last set, it'll be my heaviest for whatever rep range, which is usually 8 to 10 reps per leg. We're going to see if another one of my favorite leg exercises, the hex or trap bar deadlifts, is open. I really enjoy this exercise because I've never been much of a barbell person, especially when it comes to deadlifts. He would roast me for anything, is the thing. You know what? If Chris roasts me for that, so be it. I like the trap and the hex bar. I feel like it's a really good exercise for a lot of beginners. If you don't know how to brace your core, if you want to hit multiple aspects of your legs and just use a stable environment, I feel like when you have your hands out to your sides, it makes everybody a lot more comfortable, and it takes a lot of the load off your back too, which is really big for me. So usually whenever I do any kind of like trap bar deadlifts, you can also do these for RDLs if your dumbbells don't go high enough. The last time I did this was in a strength building phase. So I usually did an ascending load anywhere from 7 reps, typically 2 sets of 5 and 2 sets of 3 to see how I could really build up my strength going into this current hypertrophy phase. So that's one way that you could program it. So basically, I definitely recommend a lot of you guys to go ahead and like try some of these exercises. You can do variances of them. Hopefully the mental cues that I put in there is going to help you as well. I'm currently in a hypertrophy phase. I'm looking to grow. So my rep range is going to be, varying between maybe 8 to sometimes a 12 rep range, but typically stick within the 8 to 10 reps. Definitely say get comfortable with going towards failure with these exercises. Nailing them down and getting comfortable with them is going to do the best for you. If you guys have any questions, put some comments down below, like the video, and thank you so much for watching.